Hey, what's up, you guys? 2 years ago, I made a video called my Manga Collection. Well, I'm here to make another one. So I've basically just sat down and thought maybe every 2 years I will do Manga Collection videos because for those of you who don't follow my Manga Collection / library updates, a lot has been changed to the collection and I now have over 213 individual books. And remember in my first Manga Collection video how I basically did a time lapse of me setting everything up to just get started for the collection? Well, I couldn't do it this time because that's because my Manga Collection will pretty much take up the whole entire goddamn coffee table. So I have to think of something else that I can do for my Manga Collection. And this isn't the full collection, by the way, you guys. This is only half. The other half of the collection is basically still on the first shelf. Yeah. Kind of goes to show how obsessive I am when it comes to manga, right? So, what am I going to do? Well, I think I'm going to basically showcase the manga that is currently on the table, and then of course while I'm editing I will put everything back as per usual, and then once that's all dead in the water and getting ready to showcase the top shelf, I will do just that. So without any further ado, I hope you guys enjoy my manga collection for 2026. Roll that intro. Alright, you guys, let's begin. Starting things off for the collection is My Dress Up Darling. Yep, I still have the first 3 volumes of the manga. Still haven't yet to read it. And I have not seen season 2 of the anime yet either. Oops, almost dropped that. Next up are the first 3 volumes of Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out, a manga series that I want to collect more of in due time. And y'all already know that Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out helped brighten up my 2020. All right, in the next pile, there we go. We have the first volume to Kerberos and Silver Rain. Yep. Oh no. Did I say and Silver Rain? My bad, you guys. It's a Kerberos in the Silver Rain. My bad. I have not read this yet, but I do remember picking this up. Next up, we have some volumes for Gushing Over Magical Girls. I haven't read the Gushing Over Magical Girls manga yet, but I do love the hell out of the anime, and I cannot wait for season 2. Hopefully we get that sometime next year in 2027, or maybe sooner down the road. Next up, we have the complete collection for Breasts Are My Favorite Things in the World. This was a really, really phenomenal manga, and it just basically ended on a very happy ending. So I'm not going to spoil it here, but if you guys love Yuri stories, you got to check this one out. This one is the best one yet. See what I did there? Volume 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and finally, Volume 8. And I'm such a fan of this series that, as you guys know from my Anime Central haul, I have gotten myself an art book for this series as well, and I haven't read through all of it yet, but I did read a couple of pages, and wow, it is a really phenomenal art book. Next up, I have Bomber Girl. I've never seen nor heard of this manga, but I do remember collecting it. Here's the first volume for Gahi-chan. Really looking forward to reading this one because I love my monster girls, and I just love how adorable she looks. She looks absolutely cute. Next are the first 3 volumes for Rosario Vampire. I've seen the anime a long time ago, and I'm really looking forward to reading the manga. And from what I've been told, the manga is a lot more better than the anime. I will be the judge of that once I read it. And finally for this file, the first 3 volumes for I Want a Gal Gamer to Praise Me. And once I'm in the mood to read more manga again, I think this one will be the next one on my list, because you guys already know me that I love video games, and what's one of my favorite archetypes when it comes to anime waifus? Gyarus, or gals. I absolutely love them. There's volume 2. And there is volume 3. I still have to collect volume 4. Alright, going into the next pile is just basically one series that I definitely want to read because I really want a season 5. High School DxD. One of the most famous stories of all time, and all these years later, High School DxD is still beloved by pretty much everybody. And I'm really looking forward to collecting / reading the light novels, because I'm actually starting to collect light novels too. Big shout out to my good buddy Addison for giving me the influence. So thanks a lot, man. You're awesome. Yep, I still have a couple more to go, and then boom, the High School DxD manga collection will be complete. Okay, before we continue, I might as well address the elephant in the room. You guys might notice that I'm not really going into too much detail when I'm talking about these manga. That's because of 2 things. The first is that when it comes to my manga collection, it's like about 90-10, if you will. The 90% I haven't read, and the 10% I have read. And number 2, I don't want to go into too much detail because, you know, like, we would be here forever because the collection is big enough as is. All right. Back to the collection. And next up, I have the whole entire manga set for Mabarajo. And once again, I said this before in the previous collection video, I honestly did not really enjoy the manga, but I did enjoy the anime once again, because the manga, it was alright, but the anime is more where it's at in my personal opinion. Next up, we have the first 3 volumes for the 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You. Once again, that is 5 reallys in the title, so make sure you count your fingers. And I'm really looking forward to the 3rd season of the anime. I still have not yet read the manga, but I really want to at some point or another, because I've just been so busy with, you know, life and work and just typical adulting stuff. But nonetheless, I'll get to this manga when I get to it. I've also laughed hysterically at multiple scenes in the anime. This is one of the funniest anime to have come out in recent memory, and I hope we get more seasons after season 3. Next up is IL or Ill. I still have no idea how to pronounce that manga title, but what shocks me again is that this was written by Osamu Tezuka, right? The same guy who gave us classics like Astro Boy. And I had no idea that he had created an ecchi manga during his lifetime. But hey, you know, the you know, then you know. Or excuse me, the more you know. I'm sorry. Tripped over my tongue there. Next up is Onegai Twins. I read the manga for this a very long time ago, and I saw the anime a very long time ago too. It's a pretty decent show in my personal opinion. Here's the first volume for World's End Harem. Still have not read this manga yet, nor have I seen the anime. World's End Harem is just basically like one of those titles where you're like, it's so good, I cannot believe it's not hentai. And finally from this file are the first 2 volumes for Plus Sized Elf. I really love the anime, and oh my god, as you guys already know, that I love my thick waifus, and she is just basically probably the textbook definition when it comes to thick waifus. But I'm really looking forward to reading the manga at some point or another, because I found the anime very... Alright guys, kicking things off with the next pile are the first 4 volumes of the manga series Do You Like Big Girls? And from what I've been told, that the hentai, yes, it got an hentai adaptation, people. I'm really, really happy about that. But From what I heard, that there's only 6 minutes per episode, so that's kind of a shame. But anyways, people have said that it is still a pretty great hentai nonetheless, and I'm really looking forward to checking out when I have the time. And I also like had a self-meeting with myself. I said, should I really collect the Do You Like Big Girls omnibuses, or should I collect all of them just individually? Because I already have the first 4 volumes, and that's when I came to the decision I'm just going to continue collecting the rest of the individuals. Anyways, here's all of them one by one. There's volume 1. There's volume 2. Volume 3. And volume 4. Damn, they still have their new manga smell. Next up are the first 3 volumes of Welcome to Succubus High. Here's volume 1. Volume 2. And volume 3. And on the subject of manga, it's been a hot minute since I've done a manga review, and I think for my next manga review, it will be Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Next up from this pile are the first 2 volumes of Betrayed by the Hero, I Formed a MILF Party with His Mom. I have not read this manga yet, but I'm really looking forward to. There's volume 1. And here's volume 2. And finally from this pile, Yandere Dark Elf, She Chased Me All the Way from Another World. I've seen a little bit of the anime. I still have to complete it. Alright guys, kicking things off first for this pile is the first volume for Succubus and Hitman. I'm really looking forward to reading this one because I love my crime stuff and I love my succubi. What a combo. Next up is the first 2 volumes for Virgin Ventures. That is the short version of the title, but the actual title is Virgin Ventures, The Hilarious Hijinks of Erotic Amateurs. And I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. I really love this character in her glasses. That is just adorable. She's adorable. And here is volume 2. Look at the size of those tits. Lovely. Next up is the first omnibus to Fire Force, and from what I've been told, I think this is a prequel to Soul Eater, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to have to do my research on that, but I'm really looking forward to checking it out nonetheless. And the last manga from this pile is the first omnibus to Spriggan, the Deluxe Edition. Alright guys, kicking things off for the next pile is the complete omnibus collection for Scumbag Loser. And when I collected this manga, I literally thought this was the title, Lick Yamada-kun's foot, when I had featured this in one of my manga collection / library updates. And I remember just basically being so confused, and I just said, oh, yeah, that's the title right there, Scumbag Loser, and it says it right there on the spine. Next up is the first volume for Princess Jellyfish. Still have to read the manga, but I really love the anime. The anime is just too cute to, like, not love. I mean, how could you not love Princess Jellyfish, dude? It's one of the best animes ever. The Gay Who Turned Kaiju. Still looking forward to checking this one out because, number 1, I love my yaoi, and number 2, I love my kaiju, so you guys already know that. Here's the first omnibus for Neon Genesis Evangelion. I absolutely loved the anime, and I'm really looking forward to checking out the manga because Evangelion is just basically a must. If you are an anime fan, Evangelion is just a must once again. And finally from this pile is the first volume for Father, I Don't Want This Marriage. I can't wait to collect more manhwa because this is the 3rd manhwa that I have in my collection. Alright, next pile. We have the complete omnibus collection for Ibitsu. And from what I've been told by my roommate, he says this is one of the scariest manga he's ever read. Next up, we have the first omnibus for Shaman King. Any of y'all out there remember Shaman King? Because I sure do. A Girl on the Shore. Never seen nor heard of this. Well, I've heard of this manga, but I've never read it yet. And finally from this pile is the FLCL Omnibus. I'm really looking forward to checking that one out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, guys, I'm going to showcase 2 more piles, and then I'm going to go eat. All right, first and foremost, for the next pile, we have the first omnibus for Frank and Fran. Haven't read this omnibus yet, but I'm really looking forward to reading it. The first omnibus for Yu-Gi-Oh! I still need to collect more of the omnibuses because you guys already know me. I absolutely love Yu-Gi-Oh! And I heard that like this was a really hot manga to collect after Kazuki Takahashi passed away. Here is the first omnibus for One Piece. Now, I do remember watching episodes back to back to back to back to back to back on Old School Toonami, and of course, I remember Dub Piece when 4Kids TV picked up the rights to dub One Piece. I will probably watch this anime and read the manga like within the next decade or so, but or maybe later or earlier. I'm not sure because I really haven't decided just yet. But that doesn't mean like I'll still collect it. Here's a manga that I'm really happy that I have in my collection. Hokkaido Gals are super adorable. I absolutely love the anime. I hope we get a season 2 in the future, and I cannot wait to collect even more of the Hokkaido Gals are super adorable omnibus. And finally from this pile is the complete omnibus collection for Hollow Fields. And the next pile is just basically one series, and that is the entire omnibus collection for Elfen Lied. Yep, I saw the anime a very long time ago, and I have not read the manga just yet, but I'm really looking forward to reading the manga whenever I get the chance. All right, you guys, so that was the last pile that I'm going to showcase for now. So I'm going to go eat, and I will be right back. All right, guys, we are back in action. Kicking things off for the next pile is the first 3 volumes for the Big Black Deluxe Edition for Berserk. Yes, indeed. You guys already know how much I love Berserk, and if anybody out there wants to read Berserk, it's a very, very good read, and I highly recommend it to anybody. Literally anybody. And I have to collect more of Berserk because I want to read more of Berserk. Alright guys, we're now on to the next pile. Kicking things off with the next pile is Secret Reverse. And once again, this is, I do believe, Kazuki Takahashi's last manga that he made before he retired. And I have not read this yet, but my roommate has, and he says it's absolutely amazing. Next up, this is something that I'm very proud of owning. The complete set for Afro Samurai. I cannot wait to read the manga because I hear that the manga is really good. The anime is an underrated classic, so if you haven't checked out Afro Samurai yet, go and check it out right now. It's really good. And finally, to wrap things up for this pile is one series yet again, and that is the entirety of Akira. That's volume 1 that you just saw. Here's volume 2. Volume 3. Volume 4. Volume 5. And finally, Volume 6. Yeah, I definitely have to do a reread of Akira at some point or another. And I really want to do a review of Akira, the Akira manga on my YouTube channel because I've been aching to do a Akira manga review for a very long time. All right, next pile. Kicking things off for this pile is Black Paradox. Now, I actually did do a Halloween special on Black Paradox, but I quickly deleted it because I just realized that I was basically rushing myself to like literally get it out there. So I'm going to reread it and I'm going to do a re-review. Ah, yes. The first volume to Parasite. I cannot wait to read this because I absolutely love the anime. The anime Parasite the Maxine is an absolute chef's kiss masterpiece. Next up, we have a couple of volumes of Soul Eater, the Perfect Collection. Here is volume 3, volume 5, and volume 6. These were given to me by my good friend Anime Warrior at C2E2 2024. And once again, man, if you're watching this video, thank you so much. Next up is Super Sentai, Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger. Yes, indeed. You guys already know that I love my Toku stuff, and I already have Kamen Rider, the classic manga collection, and I knew I immediately had to find this one. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 1, Phantom Blood. Yep, still need to collect more of JoJo, because I absolutely love JoJo. And finally from this pile is The Last of the Mohicans, because once again, this is the oldest manga title that I have so far, because this was released all the way back in 1953. Alright guys, we have 2 piles left, but we ain't done, because we still have the top shelf to cover. The first volume for Land, and I read the plot on the back, and it sounds really, really good, and I'm really looking forward to checking it out. Next up, we have my second Junji Ito manga called Uzumaki, and this was once again gifted to me by my good friend Anime Warrior. And lastly from this pile, the best of the best, Kamen Rider, the classic manga collection. I'm really looking forward to reading this because I think this includes Ichigo, Nigo, and V3, if I remember correctly. But I do know, nonetheless, that it contains Kamen Rider number 1 and Kamen Rider number 2, a.k.a. Ichigo and Nigo. But man, oh man, does it feel good to have that in my physical manga collection. And you guys already know that Kamen Rider is my newest obsession these days. Henshin! And from the last pile on the table for now is the adult section. Now, a big majority of these books are going to be censored because they are indeed hentai. So, kicking things off is Slutty Life. Haven't read this one yet, but really looking forward to because I think I actually grabbed this at Anime Central a few years back, if I remember correctly. How to Conquer Monster Girls. Half-Ripe Cherry. Patriot. So far, all of the hentai mangas that I own, Give Me That Semen is my absolute favorite. Here's one of my recent pickups that I got at C2E2. This one is called Residence Reborn Through Twisted Desires. Monster Girl Romantic Circus. And finally, Sagawa's manga. Literally the most fucked up manga that I have in this entire collection. Because it's a true story, it's a true case, and this sick fuck once walked the earth. Alright, you guys. These are the last 10 piles. This is all of the ones that were on the top shelf. So, let us do this. Kicking things off for pile number 1 is the first volume to Dead Man Wonderland. This is the only Dead Man Wonderland manga that I have for now, and I'm looking forward to collecting more in the near future. Songs to Make You Smile. Pokemon the movie, White, Victini, and Zekrom. Here's my very first manhwa that I have collected. I have a few volumes for Kill Me, Kiss Me. Here is volume 4. Yeah, I'm right, volume 4. Volume 3. And volume 2. Definitely want to investigate in collecting more manhwa sometime in the near future. Here is Bakugan Battle Brawlers, the EVO tournament. The manga that I only got for just $1 or $2 on Black Friday. I can't remember, but I do remember that I got this really cheap. And finally, before there was One Piece, this is Wanted. Yeah. Alright, next pile we have more One Piece. We have volume 106 and volume 107. And here's volume 108. Also, I should mention that when it comes to collecting the One Piece omnibuses, I'm only getting up to volumes 99, and then the rest I am just gonna basically collect the individuals of, because why the hell not? Anyways, moving on, we have the first 6 volumes of Chainsaw Man. Yeah, buddy, you guys already know how much I love my Chainsaw Man. I cannot wait until the Res Era comes out on physical media. And when that happens, I'm immediately going to get my hands on it. Because seeing the movie in theaters was a real treat, that's for sure. And there's volume 6. That's the last of the Chainsaw Man manga that I have for now. Next pile. We have the second volume for Ultra Kaiju. That is the shorter version of the title. It is really called Ultra Kaiju Humanized Project, featuring pop comic codes. Really looking forward to checking this one out because you guys already know that I love my Toku stuff. Deadpool Samurai Volume 2. Oh, I'm hitting the camera like crazy with the manga. Sorry about that, you guys. Species Domain. Here's a real triumph when it comes to manga collecting. The complete set to Dinosaur King, volumes 1 and 2, baby. My Hero Academia, volume 1. And My Hero Academia, volume 2. Spy Family, volume 1. Color. And Galaxy Angel Beta, volume 1. Definitely want to check out Galaxy Angel, the manga, and the anime at some point or another. Alright, next pile, we have nearly the entire collection for the original Galaxy Angel. I have volumes 2 to 5. Here is volume 2. Here's volume 3. Here's number 4. And here is number 5. Put you alongside World of Warcraft Mage. Haven't read this yet, but I do remember receiving it in a mystery bag at one of my anime conventions. Ogi Summer Break. Haven't read this one yet, but I need to get the first volume because I only managed to collect volume 2. Dinosaur Hour. This one right here takes me way, way back to my childhood because remember how I said in a previous manga collection video that this was always at one of my local libraries, and I'm very fortunate to have this in my collection. Yep, it's still in great condition, and yep, still has that new manga smell, baby. Legends Volume 2, need to get the rest of them. And I don't know if I said this before in a video, but I'll say it anyway. If I sound like a broken record, I am very sorry, you guys. But I think I said something along the lines of, I would have loved to have seen this get an anime adaptation, because honestly, it has those like early 4Kids TV vibes. It really does. Speaking of childhood memories, here is Volume 2 of the OG Beyblade. Oh my god, this one is going to be a major chore to collect. But hey, that's how I am. I like to live dangerously. Here is the first volume for Beyblade X. And here is the anti-manga for Inuyasha the movie, Affections Touching Across Time. And it's complete. I have not seen Inuyasha yet, nor have I read it, but I'm looking forward to doing that sometime in the near future. And finally from this pile is Sarah Zahamai, I am very sorry about that, you guys. Sarah Zahamai, Rio, and Mabu. And I'm really looking forward to checking this manga out, because I remember I have collected it at one of my local half-price books. Kicking things off for the next pile are these cutesy little Pokemon mangas for Omega Ruby and Omega Sapphire. They're absolutely adorable. Here's Volume 1. And here is Volume 2. Here's Volume 1 for Ogami-san Can't Keep It In. Really looking forward to checking this one out, because I read the plot on the back and it looks pretty damn interesting. A Polar Bear in Love Volume 1. I heard this one is just absolutely adorable, and I'm really looking forward to checking it out. Toxic Daughter Chichan. Alright guys, here comes one of two mangas in my collection with a really long-ass title. And the long title goes as follows. I am giving the disgraced noble lady I rescued crash course naughtiness. I'll spoil her with delicacies and style to make her the happiest woman in the world. Yep, that's the full title. Here's the first volume for Rooster Fighter. I hear that the anime is quite phenomenal, and it was pretty interesting that at C2E2 this year, the badges were all fucking Rooster Fighter, which was absolutely insane. Here is the first volume for Grim Knight Tales. I almost said Grim Knight Horror Tales. I'm like, wait, no, horror is not in the title. It's a horror manga, but horror is not in its title. But man, oh man, I'm really looking forward to reading this manga, because I do love me a good scare. And it's kind of rare that horror mangas do get licensed here in the West. I don't know why. Here is the fourth volume for the first president of Japan. That still needs additional manga to make that collection complete. Even Dogs Go to Another World. I'm really looking forward to reading this. Here is Volume 3 of Mega Man NT Warrior. And finally, from this pile is a yaoi manga called The Eloria Chronicles. No, The Eloria Chronicles. I'm sorry, guys. Alright, on to the next pile. Kicking things off is the complete manga series for The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Absolutely phenomenal. I have not read this yet, but I've played a little bit of the game, and it's actually pretty good. That's part 1. And this is part 2. Next up is the fourth volume for Kamen Rider Kuga. As you can see, that is Kuga in his Pegasus form. Toy Story and Toy Story 2. So this is basically two mangas all together in one. It'll be really cool if like Toy Story 3 and 4 are gonna get a manga sometime in the near future, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Alright guys, here's the second manga in my collection that has a really long ass title, and I also heard this also got an anime. So the short version is right here on the spine. It's called Backstabbed in a Backwater Dungeon, but the full title is Backstabbed in a Backwater Dungeon. My trusted companions tried to kill me, but thanks to the gift of an unlimited gacha, I got level 9,999 friends, and I'm out for revenge on my former party members and the world. Oh boy, that still does not hesitate to just knock me out, because that is a long fucking title. Here is the complete manga set for Kingdom Hearts 2 that I got from my girlfriend. Volume 1 and Volume 2. Just a Girl, Volume 2. I still need to collect Volume 1. And finally from this pile are a couple of Naruto animangas. Here is Naruto the movie, Ninja Clash in the Land of Snow. And here is Naruto the movie, Legend of the Stone of Galel. Alright guys, we just have 4 piles left from shelf number 1. And let's do this shit. Alright, so kicking things off for the next pile is the first volume for Vanguard Sky Ride. Now, I've seen a little bit of the Vanguard anime, and I haven't seen it in full, but at some point or another I want to. And I want to track down the rest of the volumes for Vanguard Sky Ride. And from what I heard, they're kind of rare to find. But, you know, as I said before, I like to live dangerously. All right, next up is the complete manga series for Dokoida. Now, I didn't recognize this when I was a kid, or no, not a kid, when I recognized this as a teen, but I did recognize this down the road as an adult. Dokoida, when you really look at it, it's a big-ass tokusatsu parody when you think about it. Here's Volume 1. Here's Volume 2. And here is Volume 3. Dokoida is one of those more rare titles that I have in my collection, and I'm very proud of it. The Town of Pigs. Yeah, I have some bizarre titles in here, but that's just me, y'all. I collect everything. Here is Higurashi When They Cry, and once again, I have completely different arcs here. So this right here is the Con Drifting arc, Volume 1, and this is Volume 2 from the Abducted by Demons arc. Definitely want to track more Higurashi down. Here's Volume 3 of Dragon Ball Z that was gifted to me by my roommate. And it still feels weird to say the late, great Akira Toriyama out loud still to this very day. Here is Volume 1 of A Terrified Teacher at a Ghoul School. And finally from this pile is the first volume for Yokai Watch. Any of y'all out there remember Yokai Watch? Because I sure as hell do. Alright, next pile. We have the complete set for Yokaiden. Here's Volume 1, and here's Volume 2. Next up, I have a couple of volumes for Kilala Princess. This is Volume 1. This is Volume 3. No, Volume 2, I'm sorry. Yep, Volume 2. And this right here is volume 4. Definitely have to get that collection up to completion. All right, here are some more anime manga. Here are the first 2 anime mangas for the anime series Duel Masters. Volume 1. And Volume 2. And speaking of anime mangas, here are the first 2 anime mangas for Bakugan Battle Brawlers. Volume 1. And Volume 2. Yeah, these anime mangas have survived many, many, many years because I remember like collecting these all the way back when I was a kid when Bakugan was huge. Definitely want to investigate in collecting more Bakugan and learning to play the game again. I have the first 2 volumes for Kaiju number 8. Those are next. Still haven't watched nor read this yet, and you think I would because I'm a really big Godzilla fan, but I will get to it eventually. Here is the first volume for Saito in Another World. Here's the complete set for Spider-Man J. Yeah, this one was a little bit of a chore to get because I really wanted to get the second volume in great condition. And thankfully, I have. This is the only Spider-Man manga that I have in my collection for right now, because from what I heard, that there are others. And finally from this pile is the first volume for Dark Gathering. My roommate says that this is a really great story and I would really enjoy it. Alright guys, we just have 2 piles left and then we done. Okay, so kicking things off for the second to last pile, this one right here is hands down my biggest triumph when it comes to manga collecting. I have all of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, Volume 1, Volume 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and Volume 9. Yeah, this was a real goddamn chore to get. Much like Dinosaur King, this was once again a real chore to get, but nonetheless, I am so glad that I succeeded in the end. And finally from this pile are volumes 3 and 2 for Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. I'm pretty sure Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds is going to be a bitch to get too. But I'm up for the challenge. Alright guys, last pile. First and foremost is the first volume for that blue sky feeling. I almost said that sky blue feeling. Yep, I just have 1 volume of that so far. The first volume, 5 volumes for Vampire Knight. Yep, when I was in junior high, this was a series that everybody talked about, especially the females. Next up is the second volume for How to Treat Magical Beasts. Never heard of this manga before, but I picked it up. Here's Super Mario Manga Mania! Wahoo! Definitely want to review this on Mario Day. Yu-Gi-Oh! The Movie Pyramid of Light anime manga. And lastly is Volume 5 for Yu-Gi-Oh! R. And that's it. Well, there you have it, everybody. My manga collection for 2026. It's gotten pretty fucking huge, if I do say so myself. This was insanely fun to make, and you know, since I said in the beginning of the video that I want to do these videos every 2 years, or at least I'm going to try, I can only imagine what this collection is going to look like in 2028. Oh man, that's going to be crazy. It's probably going to be like up to 1,000 by then. That's my prediction. What do you guys think the exact number will be by when we do another manga collection video? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, since I have over 213 individual books in my manga collection, and you guys already saw that with the first couple of shelves, it just basically took up the entire coffee table, does that mean that I'll stop collecting manga?
Yes.
Whoa. Easy there. Easy. I'm still going to collect more manga. Don't freak out. Don't freak the hell out. I'm still going to collect more manga. And, you know, this was a really fun project to do, and I'm really looking forward to collecting more manga in the near future, and I can only imagine the chaos that will be 2028, because, as I mentioned before, for the umpteenth time, I plan on to do this every 2 years, and I'm pretty sure the collection will be up to like 1K, or maybe even more, but who knows? We'll get there when we get there. And this just about wraps things up for today's video, you guys. If you guys liked today's video, give it a like. If you guys have anything to say about today's video, give it a comment. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell to be notified on future nerdy videos when they're released. Oh, and if you want to support the channel, why not share the video with your friends? I'd really appreciate that. And you guys already know who I am. I'm Anime Warlord. Stay nerdy, stay safe out there. Have a great day, have a great evening, whatever your time zone may be. And always remember to take care of yourselves. And I'll see you guys again in the very next video. Peace out.